Versatile Mage. Chapter 570. Green Tea Man. Following Shorty's instructions, Mo Fan found the street occupied by people from Bo City. The street was not very long. It was simply an alley between two main streets, mainly selling magic goods. Mo Fan went to a famous magic school, where most students were intermediate magicians. Every intermediate magician was considered fairly reputable in society. As a matter of fact, there were countless people and magicians struggling to make a living at the bottom level of society. They were engaged in small businesses related to magic, such as trading magic equipment, selling magic ores, and supplying useful body parts of demon beasts. Wheelie Street was basically filled with these kinds of stalls and shops, selling all kinds of basic magic equipment. The price range was between 500 to 10,000 RMB, since it was fairly difficult to evaluate the price of second-hand equipment. A place like this was similar to the antique street, where new magicians would come to try their luck. They would find some impressive equipment at times, which would significantly improve their strength. Mo Fan was not hoping to meet everyone from Bo City, since he never knew all of them to begin with. He was only interested to see how they were doing. After walking past a few shops, Mo Fan discovered that most of the workers and owners were from Bo City. Their accent from the south was too strong. It did seem like they were enjoying themselves here, each with a smile on their face. Holy crap, what kinds of goods are these? A pile of rubbish. Did I seriously waste over 100,000 for this shit? Give me back my money. A slightly hoarse voice echoed in the shop. The voice did not sound quite pleasant. However, the voice was familiar to Mo Fan. He glanced over and saw that the owner of the store had a tanned face, small eyes, and a shrunken nose. Even though his face had changed slightly, he did not look different from his high school self. Zhao Tuizi. Mo Fan smilingly greeted the man. Zhao Kunsen was overwhelmed by anger, as his men had just brought back a pile of rubbish. He was having a headache trying to come up with a way to sell the garbage when he heard someone calling his nickname, which instantly drove him mad. He had always been following Mu Bai around. The guy had treated him as half a brother, not just a petty subordinate, yet someone still dared to call him by the unpleasant nickname. Are you looking for trouble here? Do you believe I'll crush you with a single spell? I'm telling you, I'm a magician, a third-level basic magician. Zhao Kunsen burst out at Mo Fan, who was walking into the store. However, his voice gradually turned soft. His eyes were staring at Mo Fan as if he had just seen a ghost. Shit, it's you. Zhao Kunsen's eyes widened. It took him quite some time to collect his thoughts. Mo Fan. Why was Mo Fan here? He had never seen the guy since the calamity of Bo City. The guy was extremely famous now after achieving greatness in Pearl Institute. Zhao Kunsen did not waste too much attention on Mo Fan, since he had always underestimated the guy. However, Zhao Kunsen knew that Mu Bai had been taking note of how Mo Fan was doing. Every time Mu Bai learned something about Mo Fan, he would simply cultivate in seclusion just so he could surpass Mo Fan and get his revenge. It's me, it's been a while. Mo Fan wore a charming smile, yet his palm was surrounded by lightning flickers. If the guy spoke another foul word to him, he would not mind teaching him a lesson, just like old times. Boss, should I call people over to throw this guy out? Doesn't he know whose territory this is? Blurted out a worker when he saw his superior's reaction. Piss off, it's none of your business, said Zhao Kunsen impatiently. Is he serious? Even the magicians in the entire street were no match for Mo Fan. Zhao Kunsen was not dumb, and was well aware of Mo Fan's strength. It seems like you're enjoying yourself here. Mo Fan withdrew the lightning and patted Zhao Kunsen's shoulders heavily. Zhao Kunsen put on an ugly smile and answered his questions unwillingly. As expected of Zhao Kunsen, the obedient subordinate, he quickly told Mu Bai about Mo Fan's arrival. Mu Bai was quick to respond, too. Mo Fan had only enjoyed a few sips of tea in the shop when the guy walked in expressionlessly. Green Tea Man, it's been a while. Mo Fan observed Mu Bai. As always, Mu Bai was well dressed and groomed. He basically still looked like he was from a wealthy family. However, Mo Fan noticed that the arrogance and pride the guy used to display between his brows had disappeared, replaced with a hint of steadiness. It did seem like he had changed after the calamity of Bo City. According to Shorty, Mu Bai had bought the entire street. It seemed like Mu Bai was quite good at doing business, as the street did not look cheap at all. From what he had observed, Mu Bai was focusing on his cultivation, while his subordinate Zhao Kunsen handled the businesses in the street. Most of the people that had moved here from Bo City were working for him. It was a rare good deed that the guy had done, helping the people of Bo City to look after themselves. Initially, Mu Bai was fairly calm when he walked in, yet his face immediately sank when he heard the nickname, Green Tea Man, and he began to curse Mo Fan in his heart. Lu Ru sat by, observing the two men. Somehow, she felt like the relationship between the two old friends was incredibly strange. Since you're here, I will ask Zhou Ming to hang out with us tonight. Mu Bai was still not as shameless as the person sitting in front of him. He was not in the mood to argue with a maniac like Mo Fan. Zhou Ming is here too? Mo Fan asked, astonished. Speaking of which, he had not talked to Zhou Ming for so long. The calamity of Bo City basically separated everyone. Mo Fan had no idea where they went, nor did he know how to contact them. She's studying in Ancient Capital Institute, same as me. She has been cultivating in seclusion a lot because of the preliminaries. It's been a while since I last saw her, said Mu Bai, after taking a sip of his tea. Oh, of course, she basically has no hope of getting a nomination. Mo Fan nodded. It was not easy to win the nomination preliminaries. Besides, Zhou Ming came from an average family. It was too difficult to be ranked top 10 in Ancient Capital Institute with merely hard work. Oh, Wang Pangzi is here too. We should ask him too, blurted out Zhao Kunsen, after he recalled something. Sure, everyone had survived the calamity of Bo City, thus they did go through a lot together. The little grudges they had at school were nothing significant, although Mo Fan could tell that Mu Bai was still not willing to admit his defeat. I've booked a place. They both agreed to come knowing that you've come to the ancient capital, said Mu Bai a bit later, after putting his phone aside. Green, Mu Bai, are you doing this for the Mu family, or yourself? Mo Fan took a look at the shop. He realized that the shop was not cheap at all. Myself, the Mu family, humph, they're treating us like beggars, Mu Bai harumphed coldly, obviously holding a grudge against the Mu family. What's wrong? Mo Fan raised his eyebrows, intrigued by the topic. You wouldn't understand even if I told you about it. Basically, the main Mu family has no respect for a little branch family like us. Their only interest is Mu Ningzhu, because of her innate talent, said Mu Bai. Her innate talent is very strong, indeed. Mo Fan agreed. Mu Ningxui's innate talent was not as simple as he had seen before. He still could not forget the overwhelming power of the ice crystal bow. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.